Alright guys, welcome to ASAP or History ASAP. It's a new series on a new channel. So here we go. This is going to be about the French Revolution, as you can see. Let's start by saying how did it start. As the 18th century drew to a close, France's most involvement in the American Revolution and extravagant was spending by King Louis the 16th, meaning that in the American Revolution, the French were spending so much money that they went bankrupt. The royal coffers were depleted, and 2 decades of poor soil harvest, drought, cattle disease, and skyrocketing bread prices had kindled unrest among peasants and the urban poor. Many expressed their desperation and resentment toward a regime that imposed heavy taxes yet failed to provide relief by rioting, looting, and striking. In the fall of 1786, Louis XVI's Controller General, Charles-Alexandre de Calonne, living from 1734 to 1802, proposed a financial reform package that included a universal land tax from which the privileged classes would no longer be exempt. To garner support for these measures and forestall a growing aristocrat revolt, the king summoned the Estates General, les États Généraux, an assembly representing France's clergy, nobility, and middle class, for a time since 1614. The meeting was scheduled for May 5th, 1789. In the meantime, delegates of the 3 states from each locality would compile a list of grievances, cahiers de doléances, to present to the king. Okay, and so here we go. Rise of the third estate. France's population had changed considerably since 1614. The non-aristocrat members of the third estate now represented 98% of the people, but could still be outvoted by the other 2 bodies. In the lead-up to the May 5th meeting, the third estate began to mobilize support for equal representation and abolishment of the noble veto. In other words, they wanted voting by head and not by status. While all the orders shared a common desire for fiscal and judicial reform as well as more representative form of government, the nobles in particular were loath to give up the privilege they enjoyed under the traditional system. By the time the States General convened at Versailles, the highly public debate over its voting process had interrupted into hostility between the 3 orders, eclipsing the original purpose of the meeting and the authority of the man who had convened it. On June 17th, with talks over procedure stalled, the Third Estate met alone and formally adopted the title of National Assembly. 3 days later, they met in a nearby indoor tennis court and took the so-called tennis court oath, serment de jeu de paume, vowing not to disperse until constitutional reform had been achieved. Within a week, most of the clerical deputies of 47 liberal nobles had joined them. On June 27th, Louis XVI grudgingly absorbed all 3 orders into the new assembly. The French Revolution hits the streets. On June 12th, as the National Assembly continued to meet at Versailles, fear and violence consumed the capital of Paris. Though enthusiastic about the recent breakdown of royal power, Parisians grew panicked as rumors of an impending military coup began to circulate. A popular insurgency culminated on July 14th when rioters stormed the Bastille fortress in an attempt to secure gunpowder and weapons. Many consider this event, now commemorate in France, as a national holiday, as the start of the French Revolution. The wave of revolutionary fervor and widespread hysteria quickly swept the countryside. Revolting against years of exploitation, peasants looted and burned their homes of tax collectors, landlords, and the seigneurial elite. Known as the Great Fear, the Grand Peur, the agrarian insurrection hastened the growing exodus of nobles from the country and inspired the National Constituent Assembly to abolish feudalism on August 4, 1789. Signing with the historian Georges Lefebvre, later called the Death Certificate of the Old Order. And so that was basically the French Revolution. Started out with a meeting, and yeah. Sorry if I can pronounce things. I'm not very good. I write a script and then I have to read it, so it's hard. I've tried to keep this short, so thank you guys for watching my first History ASAP. It's sort of like ASAP Science, but in a different way. Thank you guys for watching, and bye, and I hope you subscribe.